Tell them run it all.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no
Rest.
Might crash, might
Wreck.
but first I
Stretch.
Tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? We are in Wake Up in Cleveland. Hope everybody's having a great day. I am trying to get all these things working here. As you guys all know, I haven't been on the show in quite some time. A couple of days anyway. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Sound check, make sure we're good. Audio's running too hot. Okay, so I think we should be okay now. I haven't been on in a little while. I'm doing a little. As I'm talking, I'm trying to listen here and make sure we're good. Thank you, Queso. Okay, there we go. For all of you that don't know, so on Monday I had a huge AV gig for my kids' recital. Normally speaking, they have these things that, performance halls and all that stuff, but because of COVID, a lot of the places that they wanted to use, and this is bothering me, a lot of the places that they wanted to use were no longer available to them. So they had to book it at a hotel, which meant I had to run all of the things: lighting, sound, engineering, anything and everything. So because it was so large, because it was so much that was going on, I had to bring everything. So I had to bring my mixer, the one I normally use here for this, all the computers, all the lighting, all the trusses, and basically, I just plugged everything back in now. So, didn't really know what was going to happen, to be honest with you. So, I'm looking. I am tired. I had a gig last night, in case you didn't know. Mic sounds low. The mic shouldn't sound low. I'm the only one talking. So how can the mic sound low if I'm the only one talking? I will appease you guys and turn up the mic. And my monitor is not working, which is weird. I don't know. Maybe I took the plug. There's so many little things that you do. As DJs, we all know this. You get out there, you have larger gigs, or you have things you need to do, so you grab everything, and then you don't necessarily put everything back. And I think that's the case for me. Where I just don't know where everything is right now. And top it off, I got to go to Vegas on Saturday. There's just a lot of stuff going on, man. There's just a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. Now, so I guess one of my questions is, who is busy right now? Who is busy? Who has actually been getting a lot more bookings? Looks like we got a hype train running. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's keep that going. Let's take a look at the hype train and see what's going on. But leave it in the comments. Who is actually, getting calls, getting bookings, all of these things that we have used to come to expect and has seemed to have disappeared. Let me know. Let's see. We got the hype train in effect. Philip Ton with the resub with Prime. Thank you so much, fam. Appreciate that. Who else we got here? DJ Queso with the sub. We've been together that long. How long has it been? 6 whole months. Oh, thanks, man. Mr. Demand with the sub with the Prime. Hey, thank you guys. Again, Prime is the easiest and cheapest way for you guys to sub. So I appreciate all of you for participating. We're trying to keep these sub numbers high because we need to make this thing make sense for everybody. Now, of course, I haven't been on, and I normally stream 3 days a week, but I didn't stream on Monday because I had that huge AV gig. I didn't stream on Wednesday because I had the Serato Beat Source panel at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. So I think that's one of the things that has kind of come into play here. How I can balance out everything and continue to stream and continue to make YouTube content. There's just a lot of little things that are just in the way right now. And to be honest with you, I'm struggling myself. I'm literally struggling to figure out how to balance everything because it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. That's all I can really say. Let's do a little room check here. Now you're muted on the YouTube side. Nope, that's got to be you. Because I don't control which side is muted and which side isn't. Oh, scratch that. That was me. Okay, so let's do a little room check in here. We got Max SPL, DJ T Diesel. That's one of the mod extraordinaires. Thanks for hanging out today, man. JB in the building. Philip Ton, DJ Queso. John P. That's another one of the mods. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Who else we got in here? Who else we got in the building? Sound off. Dr. Funkist in the building. Sound off if you're on the YouTube side. Young C. Sound off if you're on the Twitch side. DJ Hitton. Steve MCC. DJ Queen Czar. Hey, thanks for hanging out today. Is it Czar or Caesar? I never know which one that is. Yeah, and she says June. I hate when this thing just starts to go on its own. She says, God damn it. I guess I won't be highlighting what she just said. But she just said that it's her busiest year, or her busiest month is June, which I agree with. Typically for me, it's my busiest month too. No, I take that back. June isn't my busiest month. May is my busiest month. You see, I do a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs. That's what my company does. So because of that, we followed the school year. And the school year means basically mid-August, we start doing more and more events, which follows through December. We die for a little bit over the holiday. Kids are out of school. And then we kick back in, right at the beginning of January, and then we go hard until the end of May. June kind of takes, we half that basically. Like, let's say if we were doing, I don't know, on average 25 to 30 events in May. Well, actually, May we'd probably do about 40, to be honest with you. So let's say we do 40 events in May. In June, we probably do 20 to 25. So there's a lot. And then July, we're dead. We don't do a lot of weddings. We do a few. I mean, we have a couple. But July is always dead for us because all of our clients are on holiday. And we don't have much to do. Yeah, Love Music Wine. Yes, we are fortunate to be getting busy again. I don't even know how long I'm going to be on today because I have to, I gotta make phone calls. Like I was saying in another show, every phone call that comes through right now is pretty much a booking, like every call. So I gotta make sure I stay up on that. So anyway, let's see. JB asked a little earlier, and this is a question that I think we should probably talk about real quick. Mr. Demand, thanks for the bits. Appreciate that. We are on a level 2 hype train. We have 1 minute and 16 seconds left. 0%. Can we get up there? Can we do that? Check. Okay. I'm adjusting volumes as we speak. As I said, the mixer is not exactly where it usually is. but I know that my vocals are typically in the red on OBS. Should have looked at that a minute ago. Anyway, all right, I think that's good. The Zoom L8 is a great mixer, except for one thing, and it's not even Zoom's fault. So on the mixer, you have your standard. I feel like I am not in focus. I feel like. Anyway, the Zoom L8 is a great mixer, except for, and it has on the faders themselves, they have memory. So once you set your fader, it's kind of like the fader on a controller. I say you go into sync mode or instant double. When you do that, when you go to another song, you can't just mess with the fader until you make a sweeping adjustment to let it know like you've gone past where the BPM is, or you've gone underneath it, and then it will start to adjust. The same thing for this mixer. So I never have to touch the faders once I've set my faders. The only issue is the gain is not a memory knob. So I just realized that my gain is super, super low. So I should sound better now. I should sound louder now, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. I hope I was loud yesterday. I don't even know. Okay, so one of the questions that I think his name was JB said, because I can no longer go all the way up. He asked, "Are they requiring COVID tests?" Which is actually a very good question. Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, before June 15th, it was definitely a larger push. Clients would say, hey, everybody at my home is vaccinated. I need to make sure that everybody that you send is vaccinated, or they need to have some sort of a test, COVID test within 72 hours of the event. That way they can guarantee that the person is not going to, endanger their clients. I mean, their guests, which is funny to me. Not that part. That part I completely understand. A person on YouTube, when I did my video about the overheating, they kind of were shocked. Really, in America, like, how can they do this? And I just responded like, come on, man. These are private parties. These are private establishments. I think a lot of people are confused at what you can enforce as a state versus what you could enforce as a business. Okay, hopefully we can clarify this real quick. If your state has a no mask mandate, what that means is anywhere outside of private property, you can live, love, laugh with the no mask mandate. If you go into a government establishment, no mask mandate. But the moment you go into a private business, private property, those state mandates go out the door. And now you are at the mercy of the private business. That's it. So if you are working these events, and I'm sure a lot of you are working at these private events, hotels, any of these establishments, you're going to have to deal with that fact. So if the establishment says you need to have proof of COVID test or you need to have a proof of vaccination, then if you want to work there, you're going to have to do it. And you can't flip it around and be like, oh, well, the state says. It doesn't matter what the state says. It's what the business says. That's like if I have a no shoes policy in my house and you walk out and you're like, well, before I come in your house, I just want to let you know the state says I'm allowed to wear shoes anywhere I want. Well, not in my house, you're not. Ratbone in the building. What is going on? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Steve says, where's Lady Beats? That is a damn good question. Lady Beats has, I think she wasn't allowed to be on because she was working. and she was, as she was working, she was helping Mod. So we miss her. I'm gonna have to text her, see how she's doing. But yeah, she's not around anymore. But we do miss her. Oh. Okay. Let's I lurk breakfast. Okay. All right. Let's just see who we got here. So now, if you have any questions, make sure you hit the hashtag ask in the chat, and yeah, we'll try to get your questions answered. Feta in the building. What's going on, man? He says we have been extremely busy. Extended UK restrictions have wiped out wedding gigs for another month. I would have been busy. Yeah, I get that. I get that, man. And it sucks. It's weird how I don't have an answer or even a speculation as to why the UK is so having such a hard time. But hey, man, sorry about that. There's a bit of a lag between your video and sound. So I've been doing videos and I have noticed that. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's check out my audio properties here and see if something was reset. Oh, yeah. So it was reset. Okay. I think I do about 500 milliseconds. All right, let me know if the lag goes away. Let me know if the lag goes away. Okay. Rise Sebastian, Rees, I think it's Rees. I think that's how you pronounce it. Hey, thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for hanging out. All the way from Mumbai. Appreciate that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down and we're going to come back up again. Queso says, have you tried the iRig Stream? What are your thoughts? Or have you heard? I've used the iRig Stream twice. And it was fine. You know, I mean, I think that now that there's a use for it. You know, since I'm using Serato, I don't really need the iRig Stream because I can just send the audio out into OBS. But if you are doing like a straight on location and you're using your phone, which in a lot of cases might be a better situation, because I have learned, let me know, people in the chat, I have been struggling with my Verizon LTE hotspot on my phone. Let me know if you guys are experiencing this before I call them, because I'm going to call them today. Anytime I do my hotspot, if I do a speed test on my phone, LTE, I'll get, 100, 200 megs down and 20 up, 25 up, depending on where I am. And as soon as I turn on my hotspot and I go to use my my MacBook or my iPad, since I lost my LTE, my iPad, it's like 1 megabit up. Is anybody else experiencing that? Because that's frustrating as all hell. Frustrating as all hell. Trip says, first, want to thank you. I brought my first ever controller in June of last year. Your channel is everything, so thank you. Thank you for the kind words. I honestly appreciate that. You're one of the reasons that I do it. Things like that. So I honestly appreciate that. Carry your COVID shot card with all your paperwork now. Yeah, basically. It's like we keep them on file. We keep them on file, and that way we can protect ourselves. Well, look, we want to work. We want to work. So if you want to work, there are some rules that you're going to have to follow. And it's not that it's that big of a deal to follow these things. I mean, look, God's honest truth. I'm vaccinated, okay? And I am like one of 5 people so far in my company, the people that work for me, that are vaccinated. Fortunately, the MCs, most of them are vaccinated. But A lot of them aren't. The dancers, it is what it is. But here's the reality: either you get COVID tested, either you get vaccinated, and that is up to you. I don't really care if you do or not. Honestly, you have choices. My issue was with people not wearing masks just because. Like, I don't care if you get the COVID shot. Once the COVID shot became readily available, what you do, I no longer care about. But if you don't want to get the COVID shot, fine. Just remember, you're going to have to take these tests. And that was probably the thing that people complained about or didn't complain about. They were like, hey, there's tests available. If you need to know, you go out and get tests. These rapid tests are like super fast now. So, you have options. You have options. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. Let me turn on. What is chat Twitch? Just seeing things, alert box. That's what I wanted. Okay, so I can see what's going on. DJ Gemini said, DJing the Olympic trials in Eugene, had to get vaccinated so I don't have to test every day. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if some of you guys have been tested. They've changed a lot now that you can do the saliva test, but the up the nose test is no damn joke. Like, you get used to it, but that first couple of times, it feels bad. I mean, it's like something I haven't experienced. I've only experienced that one other time. That's when I was younger, and I thought like I had some sort of a bladder infection. And if any boy out there knows what they do to test you for that, that's what it felt like. And it feels like they're stabbing your brain. Just bottom line, like they're stabbing your brain. So I'm very happy that I don't have to get stabbed in the brain anymore, because I like my brain where it is. I would rather get a shot. I would rather get blood tested than the Q-tip in my brain. The shot. Yeah, the shot. I mean, as far as everybody, it was different with their shots. When they got their second dose. First dose, I was fine with. Second dose, kicked my butt the next day. But hey, now I don't have to think about it anymore. DJ For Real in the building. What is going on? What's going on? One of the things we're going to do today is we're going to test out. We're going to open this guy up. This is the Boom XD. If anybody of you know, when I do my videos, I use the Rode wireless Go's here, which are great, fantastic. And they just came out with another version which has 2 wireless Go's, and so you can interview a person and you can have them hold theirs, so they can put it on them. So I have been on the fence about buying a new version of it, and I haven't yet because it's expensive. So when this company Comica contacted me to review theirs, I was like, well, hey man, free is considerably better than spending the money, because I just don't want to spend it right now. There are other things I'd rather spend it on. But so we're going to open this guy up in a minute. I'm sorry, I'm reading the things here. Okay. DJ Jorge says never got tested nor was around people for that reason. Yeah, I get that. I do get that. Okay, let's see here. So, if I missed your question, Mixmaster GNL in the building. What's going on, man? James Jackson says God. I'm like, what's up, Milwaukee? In Milwaukee, been struggling with LTE a lot over the last 2 months. It's been weird. No issues with my internet. No, and again, I'm not saying the internet. The internet is fine. If I just run everything off my phone, I got no issues. It's just when I turn this into a hotspot, my computer does not like it. Nothing likes it. And I thought, okay, well maybe it's my computer and maybe it's my phone. So then I locked into my son's. He has a 5G iPhone. Same situation, like 1 meg up in his 5G. You run it, he's getting like 500 down, 200 up. Like, it's ridiculous. So I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, but what I am going to do, I have a video coming out. On the Rain One and DJ Algorithm DJ, and I have been in the process of moving stuff over to Algorithm using the file manager on the iPad. And I've run into one thing already that I hate. Has nothing to do with Mixmaster GNL will appreciate this. It has nothing to do with Algorithm. It has everything to do with iTunes and the way they manage your file structure. So I'm turning that off. So I gotta go to Vegas for a week on Saturday. I'm turning off iTunes file structure. I'm gonna back up my hard drive tonight, and I'm turning off the iTunes file structure, and I'm gonna smush it down into one folder. I'm scared to death, but it will get done, because one of the issues with it when you're using Algorithm is if you click on the files in iPad and the Files app, and you pull your music in. It says, where's your music stored? And you say, okay, it's in music. Well, the problem is, if you've ever looked at your iTunes subfolders, they're insane. Like, let's say you got a Beyonce track. Beyonce might have her own music, but then she's got all of her features, and all of those folders are separate. So you don't have just one Beyonce folder. And so it's impossible to use that. It's impossible to use it. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to smush all my folders, and then I'm going to probably create just some basic folders within the music app. Say one for like disco, one for Motown, one for 80s, one for hip hop, and then I'll ratchet them down in the crates, or I just keep everything in one big ass folder. Haven't decided that yet. So Mixmaster, do you have any way of do your tags work for Algorithm DJ on the iPad? Does your tag manager allow that? I know I ask you these questions and I say I'm going to do it, and then I get super busy and I don't, but I'm actually going to do this over the weekend or over Vegas. Do your tags transfer into Algorithm DJ on the iPad? I'm curious. Okay. Okay, but iTunes copying your audio files is not likely your problem. Okay, let's see here. I have duplicates, which I've been clearing out. I don't have as many duplicates as I thought. I might have multiple versions, but I don't really have a lot of duplicates. Here's the thing, though. I'm not leaving iTunes. iTunes will still be my kind of player, because there are applications that actually utilize iTunes. I don't really care about that. It's my trash bin. The problem is I just want to compress them all, because iTunes will still see all those duplicates and all those things. You just have to kind of, again, repoint to where it is, and then you're good. But yeah, music can be all over the place. I'm scared, but I'm not scared. Mixmaster GNL says, told ya. Yeah, it never kicked in. In all honesty, it never kicked in until I did this. Algorithm DJ just changed my mind right then and there. Because, in all honesty, I want to DJ with the Rain One for as long as I'm going to keep it. For as long as I'm allowed to keep it, just using my iPad. All my music's right there. There shouldn't be any issue with me using it. It works just fine. So I'm going to end up doing that. Now the problem is, it only works for me with the hardware that I use. It only works on the iPad, and it only works. It works on the iPad. It works on my SX2, which I don't use anymore. I gave it to my son, but it does not work on the DDJ 1000, which was my main controller before the Rain 1. So that's the only issue that I'm dealing with. But with the iPad having LTE, and which is why I'm going to end up buying another iPad. I lost my LTE, my card reader, my SIM card reader died. So I was like, well, I'll just use my hotspot, but that's not working. Now I know if I'm using the LTE or the 5G in the iPad, it would be maximum speed. So I think I'm going back. I think I'm going to end up upgrading to the M1 iPad soon, maybe even before I leave. Not really sure. And then that way I don't have to worry about hotspot. And you don't have to pay for hotspot speeds. I'm on the unlimited plan. Never had an issue. It just started happening, like legitimately started happening. Let's see here. Mr. Kanye says, what do you think about Windows 11 and when you ever switch from Mac OS? I have the XMG, which I also use here. Normally the XMG sits here and I use it for DJing, but as I told people, I'm in the process of cleaning out everything. So the XMG is taking a minor back seat while I clean everything out in my MacBook. And then I'm going to recopy the files over, throw them up in the cloud, bring them back down. And that way all of my files are in sync, because that's been a big deal for me. So, but yes, as far as DJing is concerned, let me back up. As far as being in any app, okay? Like I'm using a PC for streaming. Yes, I'm in Melon, but I'm also using OBS, and I got the Goat Nation PC back here. So as long as I am in an app, it works just as well. The only problem I have is the usability of the system, because I am so Mac invested. I'm so Mac invested that I'm in the ecosystem. Like I can't just have the Windows computer be my main computer, because everything that I do, Final Cut, all these things are all on my Mac. So I need to be able to have the ability to to be fluid with all my stuff. So if I'm just DJing, then the PC is fine. I just prefer the Mac operating system. Period. Period. That's it. Okay. DJ L35 in the building. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. So I actually do have a question for people in the chat. How have you been? Have you been watching streaming DJs nearly as much now that we have started to open up in a lot of places in the world? I'm just curious if you guys are still dedicating as much time, and or are you streaming as much as you used to? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. EJ, for real, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you for that. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can go bigger, and then I won't have this thing reset so much, because it is resetting like crazy on me. All right, Trip says, let's see here. I am learning to beat grid on Serato Pro. I have some older funk songs from the 70s. Is there a trick to beat matching these different, more modern recorded songs? Yes, there is a trick, and you're not gonna like it. The trick is, Trip, is to know your music. In all honesty, that is the trick. You need to know your music. All that 70s music, even the 60s music, they have live drummers, so there's tempo variation. Now, you could go back in and literally beat grid all your files and, go in and minutia and adjust. I don't do that because I think that that's just too much for me personally. I would prefer to just know my music. That way, if I'm not DJing on, say, my computer, or if I'm using vinyl or something like that, like, I know what it is. Like, there is a track in the 70s called I do a mix from Shake Your Groove Thing and Ring My Bell. And in the bridge of Shake Your Groove Thing, when I start transitioning, start the blend, what happens is the song goes, I don't know which one it is, but I'm always adjusting the new song that's coming in. And there's a point in the transition for maybe 2 bars. 2 bars, it's right on. Then the third bar, one of the songs either speeds up or slows down. So I have to speed up the Ring My Bell, and then that's like for a bar. And then the next 2 beats, I have to slow it down dramatically, and then we're good. Now, if I didn't know that song, it would just be jacked. And I'm making those adjustments on the fly, so you can't hear the adjustments that I'm making on there. So, know your music. Know when things are speeding up. Know when they're slowing down. That's the key here. That is when. That is the most important part. The most important part. Yeah, Vincent Nolan says Shake Your Groove Thing has areas where the BPM varies. Exactly. Live drummer. Yeah, Jorge says never learned beat grids just by practice. I agree 100%. DJ Dam in the building. What's going on, man? Yep. I mean, so, a lot of people, when they watch me DJ, and they're like, oh, what set is that, or what? And I'm like, I don't have a set. I'm freestyling the whole thing. Yes, there are routines that I have embedded into my mind. Okay, like they're there. They'll always be there. I can go to them. I can call upon them from memory whenever I want. But the reason that I can freestyle DJ is because I know my music. So I know there's a breakdown that's coming right here. And it could be a song I've never played before, the new song, but I know that there's a breakdown coming. And in that breakdown, they remove the bass line and it's just the drums, or, maybe it's just the acapella and a drum. So I can drop any song on top of it and not have to worry about clashing. Like, I'm not a mixed in key guy. I'm just an ear guy. And, I just the way I mix is just, I guess it's just more musical for, the way I do it. So I've never had an issue with mixing in key. The songs sound good because I don't clash. Like, you don't have to never clash bass lines, even if they're in key. I mean, you shouldn't be clashing bass lines. So if you can avoid the sounds clashing together, mixing in key doesn't really matter. On all honesty, you just have to be aware of Trip. Thank you, man. Thank you for the tip. Appreciate you on that one. You just have to be aware of your music. So yeah, that's key. Squad in the building. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Soup sandwiches. I'm watching as much as possible and expanding who I watch to support. That's great. And you have to. I mean, there's still a lot of people that aren't out of this thing, first off, and there's still a lot of people that I love to watch. So, you might come into a situation where you just get busy. Like for me, I mean, I worked on Monday from, 9 in the morning till 2 in the morning. So it's a long day, and I didn't have Twitch up. But when I get back, if I'm just chilling at the house, Yeah, I watch Twitch more at the house than I do like in my car because I've just been kind of focused on hearing the music I want to hear in my car. But it just depends. Heavy J is now part of the Wake Up crew. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out today. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess I'm old school. Who would have thought? But I will say this though. I'm going to say something controversial. Okay, don't tell anybody. I have been using Sync more. I've been using Sync more. Yes, I have, and I'm okay with it. Just you know, sometimes it just feels good to just tell people. Yeah, but I do use Sync more, especially for my control. I don't use Sync, in all honesty. I still don't use Sync on my turntables, which are underneath here when I'm doing my mixes. But I use Sync on my controllers now. I especially use Sync on my Denon Prime Go because it's a Denon Prime Go, you know, and I would rather it be on point than me having to make sweeping adjustments to the mixes all the time, you know. Plus, depending on how fast you're mixing, you know, it comes into play. But yes, I have been using Sync. Yes, I know. Too many people are gonna unsub now. Because there is a place now. Hold on, let me back up. I use Sync specifically because I know how to DJ. And I've said this, and I will continue to say this. If you don't know how to DJ yet, if you're just learning, don't use Sync. If you are learning how to DJ. And the only reason why is because you might get into a situation where Sync doesn't work. A lot of times, Sync won't work. Sometimes your BPM grids are off and the song is not in the grids that you think they are. There's 3 songs that I have right now, and I need to change the BPMs, but I know the song. My Calle Olche from Pitbull says 96 BPMs. I know it sits at about 130. I should probably change that, but I know my music, so I never thought about it because I know where the song is. But if I were using Sync, it would have jacked up the whole thing. Justin Bieber's Baby, which is still popular for a lot of these people, especially if you're doing like grad nights and all those types of things. In my computer, it says 120. I know that thing's sitting at like 131. So it's off. If I use Sync, it's going to be off. And there are just some songs that are just coded incorrectly. So even though they say they're that tempo, they might be off by 3 or 4 BPM. So you have to know your music and have to adjust. So you can't just Sync and think it's perfect. I've watched DJs use Sync and crash and burn because they're like, well, I don't understand. This song is 95 beats per minute, and this song is 95 beats per minute. I don't get it, you know, and that's because they're off. So, hey, you know, Sync isn't for everybody. Calvin Cornell in the building. What's going on, James? It sits at 127. Yeah, I'm an average guy. Even if I say 120, 130, you know, that's just the way I am. Like my wife hates it. You know, it's like, well, we're going to be late. We're already 30 minutes late. And she's like, honey, we're only 20 minutes late because I always adjust higher than it's supposed to be. Yeah. Jorge says they learn the hard way. Sync won't help you if you don't know your music. Yes. 100% true. 100% true. Oh yeah, and this is very true. Yacht Rock, all that 80s stuff, it's never going to be on because you're dealing with a live drummer. So unless they're playing with the click track, which didn't really get popular, in my opinion, until like probably the 80s when the electronic music started coming into play. Then people started using click tracks more. Paris Paul in the building with the host. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, fam. But you gotta know your music. Just know your music, and then you don't have any issues, like at all. Okay, let's see here. Slam exits are lifesavers. Okay, so I know this is a thing, and I know that this is where I can honestly say I'm far more old school, because the new school way of DJing in a lot of areas is just slamming tracks, and they don't just slam tracks like okay, the chorus is played. Now I'm slamming a track right at the end of the chorus into the new verse, or slamming it from chorus to chorus to chorus. They don't even do that. I've heard people literally slamming songs in the middle of words. You know, I don't get it. It doesn't sound musical to me. But I know it's popular. I know it is. But that's just not my style. That's the one style that I can't do. I slam, definitely when needed, you know, but not like that. Not like that. Like, I think of The Matrix when they're killing, what's that, Epoch or Switch, and she's about to die, and she's like, not like this. Not like this. And then she dies. Like, that's how I think about when people are slamming like that. Like, it's not very musical. Not very musical. You gotta be musical with your stuff. You know, your mixes should be musical. Everything you do. And that's probably one of my strengths. Everybody's got their strengths. Like my boy Rel, he's one of those speed mixers and can fly through stuff, and it just sounds silky smooth, okay? I am a vibe DJ. So mine is about building vibes, and I go in and out of music, in and out of genres, with the vibe. So I can go from, like, you know, a hip hop track, and within 3 or 4 songs, I'm in like, you know, a classic rock or a disco track or something like that, because of the vibe. And that's knowing your music, being able to get in and out, finding things that sound like other things that allow you to make those transitions, you know, and without people knowing that you're changing the music up. And that's the key. That's the key. But everybody DJs differently, and which is what's great about DJing. Like, that's the best part, because the way I DJ doesn't sound like the way Paris Paul DJs. That's my partner, or the way DJ Rel DJs. But we're all good DJs. It's just different, you know. It's what you gotta love about DJing, and that's why DJing is an art form. If it wasn't an art form, everybody would sound the same. You know, everybody would sound the same if it really wasn't an art form. But everybody DJs differently. Little Fever in the building. What's going on, fam? What's going on? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Okay, I know a question came up. DJ Casel said, do you think music services like BeatSource Link and BeatSource, you said BeatSource, and Beatport Link will be the new thing without having to use a DJ pool? Yes, I think that probably in the next couple of years, you know, I think that especially with the kids coming up today, knowing that a lot of them are streaming their music first, I think it's a natural progression. So I do think it's going to happen. However, none of this can happen until, in my opinion, until there's an offline locker that's big enough to support, in the event that you're somewhere that you don't have good internet, you're going to need to be able to have local files. So the offline locker is going to have to be bigger in order to support that. If that doesn't happen, you know, it won't. If they can get an offline locker that's big enough to appease DJs, I think a lot of people would probably leave record pools if they can put all their music offline. Because here's the thing, you know, a lot of people will say, well, I like to own my music, and you know, and this is true. You should own your music, but if you are paying for a record pool every month anyway, Okay. What does it matter if your files are stored on your offline locker and you're paying a monthly subscription, but they're there, or you own them? You know, what's the difference? So if they're somewhere locally and you're paying, I pay for Apple Music every month. People pay for Spotify. People pay for Tidal. People pay for, Apple products. And once you stop paying for those products, that music is gone. But if you're continuing to pay and you're sure you're going to keep paying, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, in all honesty. I buy music through Apple Movies and things like that. Not music. I buy movies. Who's to say that at some point, Apple Movie dies, and then all those videos that I failed to download disappear? But I'm not going through it thinking that. I'm thinking Apple Movies are going to be here to stay. Okay. All right, let's see here. DJ Matt says, what's the best streaming software for DJs, Mac users? I assume we're talking like this kind of streaming. Best streaming software, in my opinion, is probably, if you're a Mac user, like you're a legitimate Mac user, like you don't use PC, the best software is probably Ecamm, but it's going to cost you money. You get to pay for that. The best free software is clearly OBS. Let's see here. DJ Thomas says, will SoundSwitch let you? Yes, you can do everything in SoundSwitch. You can do everything with your streaming files with SoundSwitch, with Serato Flip. Like, all of those things are still stored in the metadata. So, but we'll have to do a test on that. Because I have a SoundSwitch here somewhere. I got to plug in my computer. I didn't realize it wasn't plugged in. That's how off I am from doing all these gigs. Like, it's sitting in my bag somewhere. Where is my SoundSwitch? God, this is the joy of being a YouTube guy. Where is my SoundSwitch? The thing that I bought a long time ago and haven't used in a long time. I'm curious though. All right, I'll have to find that. And I will test that for you. Because it's good that I'd like to know that myself. Okay. Let's see here. Shane says, slamming the right way is truly a skill. Too many look at it the easiest way out and put little thought into it. Exactly. Okay. Access Music in the building. What is going on? All right, let's see here. I store my music on NAS. Yeah, look, having things on backups is great. But to be fair, the easiest, most cost-effective way is probably just spending $10 a month and throwing your entire music folder into Dropbox. Done. I mean, in all honesty, like, that's what it's for. If you're using, Google Drive, throw it up there. If you're using Apple Files, which, it's funny. I have iCloud. I have all these things, and I keep paying for them. But I think Dropbox is the most universal. So after I sync up everything, I'm just gonna throw it all in the cloud and be done with it. Because things like my Denon Prime Go can actually stream from Dropbox, which is actually dope. Okay. Spotify is going up $1 for family users. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I am sorry to hear that. But it's only $1. So if you love the application, you know what to do. Jorge, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate you. When you stop a sub to No More Music. Yeah, but like, I've been paying for Apple Music since it started. I have no plans on leaving Apple Music. At all. Actually, Stephen Bell says, actually not a DJ, I'm a music player. Did I say you were a music? I don't remember. Okay. All right. Not holding my breath for hotels. Yeah, hotels will never have proper Wi-Fi. Ever. Ever. All right. Yeah. So streaming services in general, even if you don't have an offline locker, having a streaming service is a godsend. You know, streaming services have changed the way I download bullshit music. You know, actually, as I'm talking about this, what I did not do is turn on, speaking of, let me just adjust this real quick. I wish my lives would default to monetization on, but they don't for some strange reason. Okay. I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay. So again, if you guys are new here and you're not sure what's going on, this is a Tech Thursday. We're asking questions. If you have a question, throw the hashtag ask in the chat. If I missed your question earlier, feel free to throw it back in the bottom. The way this stream, you can't pin comments. So that's always the biggest deal. You can't pin comments, which is very, very annoying. Kaisel says, I'm planning on streaming. Will the iPad power up? No. From what I understand, it does not power the DDJ 400. So I think what you probably could do is, I don't even know if you can. Maybe run it into a hub, but I'm not really sure. That's the only limitation of the iPad. And I probably, every time I tell people, get yourself an iPad and blah, 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 like I'm not thinking about the fact that some people use controllers that require USB bus power. And that's on my bad, but it is what it is. You know, I'm not a big USB bus powered guy. Like I prefer to plug in the computer. Every USB bus powered controller always has slight little issues for me, just a little bit. The bus powered ones. Let's see here. DJ J Hustle in the building. Hey, thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate you. Okay. Where can I slam exit? Where can I see a slam exit? That's a good question. You'll probably have to watch one of my streams, which are on Mondays, which are on Tuesdays. I stream Tuesdays, 10 a.m., which is just about an hour before now, every Tuesday. However, since I will be in Vegas, I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a stream or not. I might do a stream in Vegas. I'm trying to set up a couple of things while I'm in Vegas next week. I will be streaming from the hotel. I will do the wake-up show from the hotel, assuming that my kids don't have their actual dance competition at that exact time. It's not like I'm going to be doing the show and like, you know, everybody's sleeping in the bed. I'm like, hey, wake up in Cleveland, but my family's not actually awoke yet. So let's just be quiet. You know, I'm not going to do that. So I got to figure that part out. But there are several DJs that are in Vegas that I'm trying to connect with. War and Peace, DJ Scene, B-Stang, just several people that I'm going to try to connect with, and which is why I'm happy that I have this, because this is kind of an issue, and being able to record. I'm trying to do a stream with War and Peace. I'm trying to do a back-to-back on his Record Box DDJ 1000 controller. I'm trying. We'll see if he allows it though. You know, I don't want to scare him off. Okay. Let's see. Love Music Wine says, do you still use vinyl for gigs or just streaming? Absolutely 100% just streaming. When I'm DJing gigs now, in all honesty, I'm trying to find the path of least resistance. And that means that I'm bringing a controller with me. I'm happy for the Rain 1 because at least it can feel like turntables. So that's why because people keep saying, oh, well, come on, DJ 1000 and blah, blah, blah. But I'm a vinyl DJ. I learned on turntables. So the Rain 1 feels like it, which is why I'm willing to accept some of its discrepancies, some of its minor issues, because it feels like DJing. Yeah, I don't bring vinyl. I won't bring vinyl. I mean, you pay me enough, that's a different situation. But, we'll see. Okay, let's see here. DJ Kluby says VDJ stems rock. Yeah, VDJ stems are good. I don't want to say they rock. I don't want to say that any stems truly rock yet. In certain situations, the stems are literally like magic. Like you'll say solo acapella, because I've been using Algorithms DJ a lot lately, and you go acapella. And you will hear it and you'll go, my God, that's absolutely amazing. And then sometimes you'll say solo acapella and you'll go, this is trash. I wouldn't play this version if somebody paid me. This is an embarrassment. So stems are great. But again, this all falls into the same situation. Knowing your music, which means knowing which records sound best when you start adjusting stems versus which ones don't. Yeah. Okay. DJ Immaculate says, I may be late, but is there a replay available for Beats or Seminar? You and Bella did yesterday. Yeah, so if anybody didn't know, I was a panel guest on the Beats or Serato seminar. We were the first ones out of, I think, 4 that are going to be happening over the next few weeks. And it was a great time. Now, if you haven't seen it, I know they recorded it. I know they're going to send it to us. I don't know exactly when they are or how they're going to do it. But yes, there will be a recording. It's just not there yet. I feel like I need to sneeze. Okay. I do feel like I need to sneeze, so I'm going to. Hold on. Thanks, Dan. I was saying, I don't want you guys to think that, I'm I sneeze that crazily that I need to be away for 10 minutes. I actually needed to get my computer power cord too. So stop saying no audio, John. You're late. GD sneezes last as long as Rapper's Delight. Yeah. No, look, I love this show, in all honesty. Like, I honestly do love this show. I love doing this show, especially Tech Thursday. I actually love doing Tech Thursday more than my interviews. Now, of course, I love doing the interviews too, but this is fun for me. You know, I love helping people, and which is why the Beat Source show I talked about in my particular part of the panel. It was a streaming show, so Bella talked about Twitch, I talked about YouTube, and it was great. It was a good time. Funny thing is, I didn't actually know what I was going to talk about until like an hour before. We had a powwow at like 11:30, and we kind of discussed what we were going to talk about, and because I didn't know what Bella, I needed to know, so everything was a little last minute. But I ended up writing up my script then and getting through. You know, it's funny, when they first asked us to do it, we had a show, because Nick's going to be on next week, and Nick Spinelli, and when we were talking about it in this powwow, you know, they were like, well, I'm like, well, what do you guys want me to talk about? And they're like, well, you know, we're thinking about this, we're thinking about that, we're not really sure. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, just tell me what you want me to talk about. It's not an issue. I can talk about anything for a long period of time. You just tell me how long I have, and I will fill up the time. So, it was good. It was good. It's actually probably my first panel, so I'm excited. I actually want to do more panels, so I'm gonna have to figure out who to talk to get on some panels. I feel like I could be an asset to a lot of people. We'll see. No rants today. I'm going to be easy. So if you have any questions, make sure you hit the ask. Put the ask in the chat. Let me see. And let's see here. Best streaming service to use with VDJ. All the services that are available to all the other platforms are available. I think somebody put in there, I know VDJ has their own record pool, their own streaming pool. I don't use it. And there's only one reason. People always think that I'm like hard on VDJ. Why don't you do this? Or, you know, oh, there's a streaming, you can stream directly through VDJ, and, you know, for live streaming, and they have their own record pool. And I'm sitting there going, that's great. I don't want to be locked into one thing though. I don't want to be locked into one thing, ever. So I will never, ever be, you know, a virtual DJ user that uses all of their assets, because I jump around with platforms. So that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue for me. Let's see here. DJ Al Nasty says, what's your favorite equipment to use at home? What are we talking about here? We still talking about music? Favorite equipment to use at home? Well, that could be so many things, man. In all honesty. Oh, to DJ. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. Well, let's see here. The favorite thing that I have used overall this last year is still the S11. It's my favorite piece of hardware. When I'm at home. I'm turntables and a mixer. Like 100%. Although I am doing I'm going to do a Rain 1 video about DJ on the iPad, so that will be up here for a minute. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the S11, and I've used them all. And you know, people always, I have a Rain 72 still sitting in my garage. I have Rane 70, which is still my favorite mixer from Rane, sitting over here in my closet. I have the S11. I have an S9 sitting in the closet underneath the Rane 70. Plus, at the storage unit, I have too many 62s to count and a few 57s. And in my book, the S11 is the best mixer out right now. Jorge Blanco with the gifted sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Now, I say that knowing that that's how I feel. Oh, and by the way, Stephen Bell says, so is the S11 SEE the way to go? Here, this is gonna shock people. I don't think you should spend the money because you're not getting anything special, but the different colorware. But here's the thing: you can buy that colorware online now. All those companies are making that. You just put it on top, and now you have the best of both worlds. I don't actually like the SE version. For some reason, the lines don't look symmetrical to me, and that just messes with me. Plus, they don't match my PLX 1000s that way because that gray doesn't match, but the original S11 matches perfectly. So everybody's got their own. Everybody sees things differently. Mulberry in the building. Yes, I still have 57s. I don't use them, but they're still there. I got a lot of equipment. Owning a DJ company, you're gonna have a lot of equipment. Now we are moving. The word is not lazy, but we are moving to be more convenient. Where we are getting we're moving a lot of people to controllers, and of course, most of our DJs still have turntables. But I have learned that especially if we have girl DJs, and girl DJs, it's a lot to have to carry. So there are controllers. Now they have their own gear; they can do what they want. But we are in the process of doing that too. Besides the DDJ 1000 SRT, which 4-channel controller would next best one to use for Serato? Okay. That was exceptionally weird. In case people were wondering, I lost power in my room. In this room. It was weird, and I got to figure out what's going on because it's the second time that I've lost power in this room. I never lost power in this room before. And then all of a sudden, I came in yesterday to do the panel, and I noticed my power was out. But it's just the outlets. So I got to take a look and see if I might be overpowering some of my outlets here. And it doesn't like it, so it's switching off all of a sudden. It is what it is. We'll make it through. Thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for continuing to hang out. Appreciate you on that one. Pay your electric bill. Well, if it were my electric bill not being paid, then obviously I wouldn't be on here anymore. I'd be running, trying to pay with Western Digital or something. No, it's very weird. It's just this room because as I walked out of the room, I assumed that maybe the power was out, except for the fact that my fan was still running. My fan and the light above. So that's typically the first thing. Could be the heat, could be a lot of things. But it's just happening in this room. And I haven't figured out what it is yet. So I'm going to spend a little time reorganizing Smell, which it doesn't really matter, in all honesty, because the load is on all of the circuits, not all of the circuits, all of the plugs. So it doesn't matter if I reroute them somewhere else. They're all going to be off because it's all in the same room. But we'll get through. No rant coming. This is happy time. We're supposed to be happy. Not warming up. No rants. I do forget what I was just saying though. I think somebody asked about the best controller for Serato 4-channel. Now again, I will tell people this. You don't actually need 4 channels. Now, but if you do need 4 channels, there aren't a lot of options for 4-channel mixers out there. I mean, you got the SX3 or 2. You have the SZ. You got the Roland. I think the Roland has 4 channels. And the I think the what is that, the MX whatever, you got that one too. Now I haven't used any of those. I use the Roland. I don't love green, so I don't love the Roland colorware, and I know that's petty. Sorry, I'm opening up my iPad also in the event that something goes wrong. I should have had this in the first place. Yeah, so just in case I die again, I have a backup. Now, for most people out there, especially if you're used to capacitive jog wheels, the SX2 or 3 is probably the best choice. The SX2 is great. The SX3 has much better sound coming out of the board from the output and the mic preamps. So I like the SX2. I don't love the SX2 sound. And some people are saying the NS7. Yeah, the NS7 is great too. It's just big. It's big. SX3 with turntables is, for me, is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the fact that you like that. I cannot stand people. I can't stand seeing people use controllers and turntables. Not because it's a controller and turntables, but because the controller is so damn big, which means your turntables are so far away from the crossfader. It drives me insane. So I'm not a fan of that. The SZ2 is humongous in my opinion. So I'm not a fan of using it as a mobile. There's a difference between having a mobile piece of equipment and just a controller. You get what I'm saying? So there's all different types of controllers, but for a mobile controller, I think you gotta stick with the smaller ones, smaller form factors, and the SZ2 and the NS7. Those are all huge controllers. I feel the same way about the Prime 4. The Denon Prime 4 to me is slightly too big for your everyday mobile stuff. It's just an opinion. Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You do you. I just can't stand it. Just can't stand it. Steve says, what gear are you getting for your DJs? So the answer is the gear that California changed their rules. Okay, so California is making everybody employees now, because they're California, and California likes to be dicks to everybody. We have started to. Sorry, my son's playing the piano. Let me shut the door. Hold on. Okay, so we have started allowing them to use their own equipment, assuming that it's pre-approved by us. Like, you can't just bring some bullshit stuff to the gig. But because a lot of these people are now their own entities, and we're basically just paying them as a independent contractor, then it's a little different now. It's a little different, but the controllers that we're currently using, because we have 3 of them, is that we have 3 DDJ 1000s. That if somebody needs to use gear, they'll use the DDJ 1000, or turntables, as always. Yep. No more. Daryl Jordan in the building. What is going on? Yeah. So the issue is not the independent contractors, but yes, there are no independent contractors in California. The issue is that the person that you're paying, if they have their own business license, okay, and they have their own not business license, that's irrelevant. If they have their own LLC or S corp or whatever, you can pay them through their LLC. Then they don't have to be registered as one of your employees. So it's slightly a loophole. But because a lot of these people do different things for us than just DJ, it cuts down on our bottom line there. Okay. And a lot of DJs are LLCs on their own. DJ Access Music says, what do you think about the Ford Transit Connect, or how you transport your gear? I think that is a fantastic idea, and we are going to be buying a couple of them for the company. My partner is buying one for him already, and then I will buy mine probably in the next year and a half. Once my truck lease is up, we will just buy one of those, and I will just rock a Transit or a Nissan, whatever, for the rest of the time. My wife has a nice car. If we need to go somewhere nice, we'll just take her car. Like, I'm done playing the game. I'm done. I don't care how I look. I don't care, if people are like, oh, how come you don't have your blah 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 car? Because this saves me money, and I write off everything that I do with this car. So yes, if you can, I think it's I'm ready. And I have my truck. So when I bought my truck, and I have the Ford Ranger, Super Cab, which, knowing what I know now, because it's the first truck I ever bought, I used to drive. I've always driven SUVs. Like, I had a QX4. Then I moved over to the FX, which I still love. Still to this day, my favorite SUV is the Infiniti FX 35. Still my favorite SUV of all time. But I'd driven that thing till the wheels fell off, so I bought a truck. And I didn't realize the difference in cab size between getting if you go 2-door or you go 4-door. So I got the 4-door because I have family, which I will be using when we go to Vegas. We're driving my truck. But because of that extra cab, they cut away from the truck bed. Didn't realize that. Now, has that really affected me? No, I've worked around it, but still, I didn't know that when I bought the truck. But so during quarantine, working small events, that truck has come in handy. I've done everything out of that truck, so it's been great, and I'm writing off the truck payments. It's not like it's coming out of my pocket, but at this point now, after this truck is done, it's all transit. I'm not thinking about anything else. Tweak Music Tips in the building. DJ Kova in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. I think Kova might have missed my show yesterday. I think he might have missed it. Honest, whatever. I'm not here to judge. Okay. I saw your YouTube video and you had helpers. Do you pay them by the hour? Just curious in case I need to hire folks. Okay, so there are two different things that come into play here. DJ E's in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you, man. There's two things to realize. The people you saw weren't helpers. They were actually people that were going to be entertaining on the gig. So an MC, a couple of dancers, so they helped out. But I do have other DJs that I do hire in the event that I need to get to my gig late or for whatever reason. So yes, I do have DJs that, let's say, we only have 3 events or whatever, and pays them with advice. Let's say we only have a couple of events and I have DJs that are just sitting around. I will have them, hey, go grab my van or go grab this, set it up. I'll come do the event. You break it down, you take it back to the warehouse. So that's what we've done with those helpers. I don't just grab any random person off the street. Not my thing. So they got to be people that are already employed by me because this is expensive ass gear, and I'm not trying to lose it. Okay, let's see what we got here. DJ Flo, Entertains, thank you so much. Appreciate you for hanging out today. Let's see here. Remember, if you have any questions, throw the ask in the chat, and we will try to answer. No rants today. We're rant free today. I'm looking to upgrade from a Newmark NS7 to either a Pioneer DDJ 1000 SRT or a DDJ SX3. What are your thoughts? Sound-wise, the 1000 and the SX3 are virtually the same. The only trade-off is the jog wheels. The jog wheels are what either you love or hate about the DDJ 1000. I love the jog wheels. I love the display, so I'm a big fan of them. But the SX3 is a great controller. I know DJs that have used the 1000. They're like, I don't like them. I don't like the jog wheels. And other DJs love them. So to each their own. Okay. Let's see. A couple more questions. Then we're going to unbox this Comica. And then I'm going to have to turn on the recording because the good thing about my G9 is it only allows the focus to come into play for whatever reason when I'm recording. So like right now, if I do this, you can't see anything, which is annoying as all hell. Okay. Let's make this a little smaller. But for the people I forgot, Jorge Blanco, thank you for the sub. Demi for real, thank you for gifting out that one tier sub. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys thank anybody that's providing you with subscriptions. Have you seen DigitNow USB audio capture device? I have not seen that. No. But oh man. I wish. You know, people are like, get the Cybertruck, get that. I'm literally, if in my, here's what's going on right now, in my mind, in all honesty. If I can write it off, chances are I'm going to use it. Chances are. I could probably write off a Cybertruck, but you know, I'm all about right now convenience. I'm all about literally taking that Transit and building it out so everything is exactly where it needs to be. And basically, I never take anything out of the truck. It just stays there, you know. And if I get to a gig, because this has happened to me recently, and I don't know what's going on, honestly. Hold on, let me make sure I'm in sync again since it did reset. Yeah, okay. This happened to me recently. The last couple of times I've gone to events, I have forgotten something. I never forget stuff, but because we are legitimately like getting back into work and it went into overdrive like super fast, normally you have a chance to like build in and slowly move up, but it's like, nope, we're doing parties. Let's go. So I have forgotten yesterday on my gig. I flat out forgot the Bose system. Flat out. Like I put the little Bose bass in the truck. I put my Rain 1 in because I forgot my Rain 1 at the grad night, which is why I had to use turntables. Put the Rain 1 in, put the bass in, and left the sub and the high at home. So I had to turn around and go get it. What the fuck is right? That is not me. That is absolutely not me. So I'm done. Look, normally speaking, when we had our storage unit, when we had our warehouse, everything had a place. Okay. And keep in mind on Monday, remember I did that humongous event. So all of my equipment, all the cables, everything, by the time you break down, everything's sitting in one box. Everything's sitting in bags it's not supposed to be in. So in my garage, that's where everything is. It's just all everywhere. So I legitimately just thought I threw it in the truck. Legitimately. So I gotta get back to just having organization, and going, no rent. There's no rent coming. I got to get back to having real organization. But having something like a transit truck with all of your equipment already in it, if I get to the venue and I walk in and go, oh, they don't need this much, I can just grab what I need out the truck and everything stays in there. Like, that to me is a godsend. Give the people what they want. I'm about to go on technically vacation. So, yeah, put a rack in the transit truck. Exactly. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Yeah, no rant today. We're happy today. I'm about to go on a little trip in a rocket ship. We should probably open up this guy. I know I said I would, so we probably should open it up. Hopefully I don't turn off again. Oh, look, my Stream Deck is turned off. Not my day. I gotta figure out what I plan on bringing to Vegas. I think I'm gonna bring the Denon Prime Go. I'll probably bring the Zoom L8 mixer because I don't have anything smaller that's audio, that has an audio card in it. So I'll probably bring that. I'm not bringing any controllers or anything like that. Space is limited. So I'll probably do that. Let's make sure the overhead is good. Yeah, okay. Let's see, is that clear? Does not feel clear to me. There we go. Okay. All right. And I'm not even recording the stream. I'm going to record it now because I'm going to use some of this in the unboxing video. We're going to call this. I hate the fact. So by the way, I'm still using Melon, and Melon is every time I open up Melon, something new they've added in here. So for Tweak Music Tips, they now have the edit screen always available to you, which is great because they didn't have that before. So they continue to make improvements. So I got to do that video soon too. Do you DJ on vacation? Not necessarily, but because I do know multiple people in Vegas that have spots, I might DJ. I'm going there for my kids. It's the Dance Nationals, and my kids both qualified to compete, on the national level. I don't know if you guys know, my son is a tap dancer, quite a very talented tap dancer. So yeah, so he's going to be competing. So we'll see what happens. The thing about Demi for real, you could say it's a dad brag. You really could say that until you see him. And this isn't. Oh, I'm so proud of my son. This is like world-class tap dancers coming up to us and saying your son is like he needs to do this professionally. So yeah. What was I gonna do? Oh, we're gonna open this guy up. Okay. I don't even know. Is there still even audio on this thing? All right, we're gonna get a X-Acto blade so we can do this. All right, there we go. Cool. Okay. All right. DJ Throwback was a dance dad too. Okay. Made Star Systems Rich. DJ Throwback, did you watch my video about Star Systems? This is an honest question. Because if you haven't, you might want to watch it. It's on my IG in one of my videos. If you go to the video page of my IG, and on my Facebook. I don't know if you saw that. Very interesting experience I had with Star Systems. Like, very interesting. And needless to say, I will never give Star Systems another dime. And neither will my my dance studio. So take a look when you get a chance. By the way, speaking of socials, obviously you guys know my YouTube channel has solid numbers, but I am, where am I right now? I am 20 people away from 5,000 followers on IG. And I hope that all the people that are on this channel are following me, but in reality, a lot of you aren't. So I need you guys to click on that IG and follow me. I want to hit that 5,000 if I can today. There's 100 people on the stream right now. There's no reason that I can't get 20 people or 25 or 50 people to actually follow my IG. So when you get a chance, make sure you do that. DJ Throwback. Yeah, I never had beef with him too until beef came to me. So, yeah. Yeah, very, very strange day that I had there. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. All right. Actually, let's hit this record. This will be the last thing we do on. But this This is, yeah, see, already better. Let's see if this works properly. There we go. It's going in and out. Find it, Lumix. Okay, there we go. Find it, Lumix. All right. Okay, let's take a look here. This is the Comica Boom XD 2.4 digital wireless microphone system. I do like that the bag is, probably didn't even need this X-Acto blade. This plastic is actually rather easy to use, easy to open up. Now, as you guys all know, I've been using these for all of my videos. These are the Rode Wireless Go's. Very good, very, very good system, but they've moved to their 2-channel, or their 2 mic box, and I only have the original one, which is the 1 mic. So we got this from Comica, and we're going to test it out. Now, the only thing that it doesn't do is the new mic Go's record. You can record actually to the box, but I've never really needed to record because if you're recording the video from your camera, there's absolutely no reason that you need to record that too. But it's good to have a secondary thing here. All right, let's. Okay. Oh, now this is a nice case, and it's a hard case, like that. Nothing else in the box. Empty. Okay. And let me do something else. Okay, there we go. Okay. In the box, we got typical directions. Who cares about that? And we have the actual receiver and transmitters here. Turn off the music. Okay, first off, they are lighter than the Rode. They're definitely considerably lighter than the Rode. Not a problem, but they are. One of the things that I do want to mention is this little clip also acts as a hot shoe mount, and you need to have a hot shoe mount in order for you to put it in. That way, it works properly. But the clip also works as a something like this guy. I do like the fact that the Rode is pure white and it's very large. So when you're using it, people see the Rode like all the time. Like that's all they see. It's black and they see the Rode. This Comica one is a little more subtle. It's a little more subtle, which I do like. Okay. So let's see what else comes with it. 2 receivers, or I should say 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, and lots of little things in bags. I do like the case. I'm a big fan of this case right now. But lots of things in bags. Now, one of the things that I didn't love about the Rode version is it doesn't come with an actual lapel mic. You have to buy that separately, and that's about $80. So I never bought one because the mics on this have always been really, really good. But this guy does come with its own wireless. Does come with its own lapels. Now I don't know how good these are, but you do have the option. So there's one. Here's another one, which we're not going to open up right now. This looks like USB-C, which I'm glad that they did because everybody should be moving to USB-C now. So these are USB-C. They still give you the standard plug, the standard USB-A, but whatever. I have enough USB-C cords that I can run directly. All right, what else do we have here? We got the fan blowing the bags off. This looks like, oh, this is great. This is another thing that the Rode does not have. This is, well, this is a dual. So this doesn't work with your iPhone. This works with your standard like computer ports and or anything that's sticking. It's got the stereo feed right here. But I do believe they give you one for iPhone 2. Yeah, here it is right here. So you got your standard audio, which will feed, but then you have the 3-ring. This little 3 here, it's probably going to be hard to see. I don't even think this is going to find it on here. I doubt it because it's really small. But the difference between an iPhone and your regular, stereo headphones is it has a 3rd line. So if you see any jacks with 3 lines here, that's how you know that it works with iPhone. Okay, and regular stereo, and then you have your additional, looks like foam inserts, maybe for the where's the camera that follows me? It's in my bag. I've been using it for live streaming. Okay, so but for this one it wouldn't matter anyway, because even if it did follow you, it I mean, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, then we have our standard dead cat, is what they call them. And it is a square dead cat because the mic on here is square. So what I do like, it's definitely a solid feel. On this one, it's a clip-in, and it always annoyed me because it would pop off all the time. This one definitely doesn't feel like it's going to pop off. Okay, great. Is there anything else? This is another dead cat and another plug. I'm really impressed with the amount of accessories that this guy has. It is pretty damn impressive. Okay. The only thing we're not going to be able to do today, which I'll do in the secondary part of this video, is we're not going to be able to do an audio test. Because I don't have that set up in OBS. But we will do the audio test later on and then post it. But from the initial, first, I love the box. I love the fact that it has all of the adapters that we need. Let's see if the battery works. Let's turn this guy on. Okay, we have a mute. That's convenient. There's a mute button on the transmitter, which is great because the other one did not. So I love that. It has a pairing, and you have your mic input, a reset, and your USB. So how do we turn it on? I'm assuming you hold down the mute. Yep. It is full power, it says. And you can probably see already there's a reading kicking in. Let's go this way. 222, 222, 222. All right. That would be funny if this one didn't. Okay, here we go. And then we have volume for, it looks like for both channels here, A and B, which is great. Yep, and there we go. Let's see if you can see this. Let's see if you can see this. Come on, find it. There we go. Okay, so if we test this out, 222, you can see the readings kicking in for there. It says A and B because you have the A and B volumes chilling right there that you can adjust for it. And then you have the dedicated mutes. Mute 222. 2, 2, 2. The mute works. This is cool. All right. Now, the question is going to come up, how does it sound? And, of course, sorry, I'm reading DJ Queso's response. Like I just said, I use it for streaming. It doesn't really matter in this room where I have 4 different $2,000 cameras in here. But for streaming, for when I'm out and about, the fact that it can clip on to my laptop and I don't think about it, that's where I bring it. And it's always in my bag because I always use it for streaming. So no need to hate. And besides, you did not buy that camera because I have it. You bought it because I showed you how convenient it is. Don't put that on me. You know, and it's still a good camera. I mean, don't buy something just because I say buy it. Buy it because you need it. You know, that's what I would do. Okay. DJ Dam, I will be testing this out. I'm actually bringing this to Vegas. I'm trying to do some live wake up in Cleveland's on location. So I will be using these. That way, you know, we can hear it. And I'll probably bring my son in and we'll do some tests today. But yeah, I want to use these over the week, and then give my final thing. If I don't have to buy the Rode Wireless, and again, industry standard. This is a fantastic system, so I'm never going to discredit this. However, if this is just as good and I don't have to buy another system, because I don't really care about recording. I don't care about recording into a box because I'm recording directly onto the camera, and that's where I do all my editing anyway. So why would I want to bring a secondary audio source? That would drive me nuts. I mean, as a backup, sure. But I've never really had any issue with the camera. So we're going to be testing these guys out a little bit later. But it is now 12:06. It's getting late. And I got calls to make because these party planners are getting pushy. You know, the party planners are funny because all of a sudden, you know, everybody's working now. Everybody's asking for parties, but they're forgetting that they're not the only people that are asking for parties, but they want to treat it like they are. So we've had to seriously try to manage expectations. We have a party now. Who's available? We want this person. Well, that person's not available. Well, what do you mean? Well, because all of our clients postpone their events. So we're still in the same situation. It's just it's a funny time to be alive. We'll get through it. Let's see here. King's fan says, seems to me you preface most your reviews as this might be useful for some. Yeah, I think so. I try to, because I know it's not for everybody. But like I said, it'd be one thing if I just did the video and then never use it again, but it's sitting in my DJ bag. Like, that should tell you right there. And I'm bringing it to, I'm going to bring it to Vegas with me. It'll be the thing that I use. So, I use everything that I have, said is a good product. I use, you know, people were like, oh, Bose page or whatever. I use that Bose system every event. It's a small little cocktail party, Bose. Oh, it's 80 people or less, Bose. I don't even think twice about it. You know, there's never been a product that I have reviewed and said is great that I don't actually I don't own or use. Honestly, I mean, think about it. I use everything. You know, I said I love the S11. I use the S11. I said the Rane 70 is the best headless mixer out there. I got a Rane 70 sitting right over there. I say the S9 is still a great mixer. I still have my old S9s. You know, that's just the way I am. So, yeah. No, DJ Dam, the Rode 2. Look, if There's absolutely nothing wrong with the Rode 2. Absolutely nothing wrong. For me, it was literally just a bit of cost. I'm like, oh man, I gotta buy. Like, it would have been nice if they just came out with a firmware update, and then you could just buy another Rode mic, and then that would have been a serious, easy thing. But the Rode, they're not cheap. It's like $300, you know. So if somebody wants to make a carbon copy that is just as good, and they may or may not be, and that's what we're gonna find out. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a video today. I'll probably do a simultaneous recording. I'll drop the Konica up here on this one, and I'll record both audio feeds. That way I can switch back and forth. That's what I'll do, just to kind of test it out. But I have a feeling that the microphone is probably going to be a little better on the Rode. That's just standard feeling. Because, I mean, in all honesty, I use Rode everywhere I go. This is the Rode pod mic. I have a Rode NTK, which is my favorite tubed. I was gonna say condenser. Tube condenser mic, not dynamic. And I use it for all of my albums when I used to record when I used to have a deal. And then these guys, I didn't even realize I was a Rode guy. Like, in reality, Rode should sponsor me. That I should clearly be the one they sponsor. We'll see. Okay, so I agree with you about Bose being expensive. 100%. Yeah, because it is. Which is best to use for DJing on Twitch? Audio interface, mixer, or external sound card? The answer is yes. They all work. If it's a matter of cost and you're using Serato, and I believe, or Virtual DJ, just use the virtual audio card that's built in and plug a mic into your controller. Problem solved. That's the cheapest way. If you have an outboard mixer, and yeah, it's always going to be better because then you have a little more control over the audio, how they sound. You can add compression, like all of those things that you can't do. I mean, you can do it in OBS. I just prefer hardware compressors. I mean, audio interface, external sound card, they're basically the same. And they all work. To be honest with you, I've always said the best sound that I've ever used came out of my old inbox, which is over here. This guy right here. This is the old inbox from Pro Tools. This was a great box. You can see it's dirty. You can see how dirty it is. It's dirty. This sounded the best as far as all the audio cards I've used. Up to date, it sounded the best. The only problem is it doesn't work if you upgrade your computer past Yosemite. Yeah, I think Yosemite. I think no, High Sierra. I think High Sierra is the last one that will work before it just dies and then you can't use it anymore. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Last question. I'm feeling my... There we go. Okay. Yep. I mean, so I don't know why all the line arrays are as expensive as they are. I mean, it's not just Bose. I mean, they're all expensive. But I will tell you this. For the compactness of the Bose line array, the clarity of the sound is second to none. Now, does it hit like if you got a dedicated... I'm using the Sub 2. Does it hit like... the Sub 2 hits like the Eon, the JBL Eon, except the Eon has a little more power output. I'm having a conversation with Bose as we speak because I want them to send me the secondary sub, and it's taken a little while longer than I think it should, because one of my issues, and I told them this. And look, I'm all about being transparent, okay? And I've said this: the Bose system has a limit, has a top limit, and that limit is right at around 100 people for the one line array and the one sub. But as I said, for whatever reason, everybody online is selling 2 subs in one line array. So I'm thinking that that's kind of the standard. So I asked Bose to send me another sub or another sub in line array, whatever, but at least another sub, just so I could test it out. Because I definitely hit the maximums on that sub, and it is unfortunate. It's not as loud as it needs to be. But the Eon has a louder output, and the Eon seems to have a little bit more. You can push it a little harder without its circuitry kicking into play. But if you don't overpower your system, it honestly sounds from a frequency comparison, it sounds better than any system I've used, as far as having the most balanced sound coming out of a box. And it is a convenience problem. Yeah. But that room shaking bass that you come to expect from on larger parties, which is why I have the SRX 828 sub, and the SRX 15s that I use as my highs. You can't match that, in my opinion. My SRXs are the best sounding speakers I've ever used. Best sounding across the board, meaning they hit like you don't even need a sub with the SRXs. Like they hit that hard even without a sub. The mids and the highs are very good, although the clarity of the Bose still better, but it doesn't hit like the SRXs do. Yeah. Funkhouse says, yeah, agreed. And DJ Dam, this might actually be what I do. If they don't send me a sub, another sub, I will bring out my Eon and put that on there and see if that makes a difference. Because it could be just as simple as the fact that it's the sub. The line array, beautiful. But I just prefer, and everybody's different, so that's probably one thing I will say. Everybody's different with what they think the sound should be. If it's as far as the way it hits. I come from club DJ life, so I need to feel that. I need to feel that in my feet, in my chest when that bass drum kicks in. And so, but there are some DJs out there that are like, I just prefer the most balanced and pristine sound out there. And if I need to, I'll just buy 8 L1 Pros and just wrap them around the dance floor and the crowd so they can be just blanketed in quality sound. That's not me. What interface do you recommend after the update? It doesn't matter. In all honesty, all sound cards are. I mean, look, the cheapest is probably going as simple as like the Mackie little 2-channel or 4-channel mixers. Those are super cheap and easy to use, and they can be bus powered. So probably one of the Mackies. Or you can get a little bigger and go with the Yamaha. The Yamaha's still cheap too. The Yamaha, hold on, I'll show you right here. Let's see how quickly I can do this. Okay, this is the MG10X. This is a great one, and they also make this in a. They make it in a 4-channel, but I don't believe that there's a USB out. I think the 10 is the first one with the USB out. But great little mixer. It's like $200 or cheaper. It might even be cheaper. But then the Mackie version, which is very much like this, but they have a dedicated 4-channel. It's either 2 or 4-channel, but it has a USB interface. Go with cheap. Go with the cheap and easy. In my book, it's gonna sound good enough for streaming, so you should be good to go. This is not my day. Hold on, let's see here. There we go. Okay. Sean Donnelly, thank you so much. Bobby G, good to have you in. Oh, you came back on. Yeah, I've been on, man. I've been on. I was only down for like 3 minutes, so you missed a lot. But yeah, so basically, in case you were wondering, what interface would you recommend? Any interface that is class compliant. That's it. Any class compliant interface will work, but it'll also work not only with, because a lot of people get the iRigs, but they don't realize that you can use your phone with the camera card reader that Apple makes and plug in any mixer that's class compliant, and it will work. It will read it as an audio source. It doesn't have to be the iRig. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to check my IG right now. Let's see what my IG is at. Let's see here. It's moved up 5. 85 people still in here, and it's moved up 5. Are all 85 of you following me on IG? I'm pushing this one. I'm 15 people from 5,000. Come on, people. Do you have any advice? Do you have any advice for like DJing a wedding? Know your music. That's my advice. Like absolutely know your music. Because when you're DJing weddings, there's a huge gap in between ages. You know, you're gonna DJ. You might DJ for some 20-year-olds all the way up to 60-year-olds. So you have to know your music and your ability to play all of it. Okay, so all right. Let's see here. So come on, get away. Pressing the wrong button. Do you plug your mixer into the ATEM or straight into the PC when you stream? Okay, now I have 2 different setups. And see, this is when the other camera would have come into play. I have 2 different setups. I use the ATEM now for dedicated recording of all of my YouTube stuff. So it sits here, and then I have a L1, a Feel World L1 Pro, which you may or may not be able to see here. Let's see if I can. All right. This guy right here. So this is my streaming box, and basically what I do is I have all of my cameras go into the L1. Sorry, not the L1. I have all my cameras go into the XR and the L1 here. Okay. Then I have another set of HDMIs going out of the outports into the ATEM. So the ATEM is receiving the signal from the other ones. And then I have a USB. It all plugs into a USB hub or directly into the computer, which is right here. This is the Goat Nation. That's for streaming. And that way, I don't have to unplug stuff. I was really getting annoyed with unplugging a whole bunch of stuff left and right in order to be able to use my streaming. Because when I'm recording, I got to switch everything around. And I don't want to do this anymore. So now I have basically, it's a redundant setup. But it works. It works. But everything feeds into the mixer. And then the mixer has a class compliant USB that goes out, and that's where the audio is coming from. It's coming from the USB and the audio card. But because I do have outputs for the ATEM 2, because I'm using the Zoom L1.8 and it's got its own dedicated audio outs. You saw the darkness. The camera just turned off because it has a 30-minute limit. Because of that, I can send audio to the ATEM too. So mine's a little more complicated. It's not complicated. It's actually easier this way, but it's complicated up front. What's the app you use? Which app are you referring to, Queso? I have the ATEM Mini. The ATEM Mini is right here. I have the ATEM Mini ISO, ATEM Mini Pro ISO that I use for all of my YouTube content when I record. But yes, the ATEM is still one of the best ones out there. One of the best. He said, go ahead and say it. You need no ATEM. No, this is actually not true. I use the ATEM. I need the ATEM for all of my YouTube stuff because my multiple cameras, I record into the ATEM as an isolated file, and then I can switch from camera to camera feed as I'm editing. Can't do that with any other box. So the ATEM Pro ISO, and I will say this, anybody struggling with data, anybody struggling with a crappy internet, ATEM is the best choice for you because its compression of its video sources and the fact that you can stream directly from the ATEM, second to none. I never had a single problem streaming from my ATEM, ever. And that's even when I had crappy upload speeds. So, yeah, you're good. You're good. Tweak. I have not checked out the sound yet. I haven't checked out the noise floor. That's coming up. That's coming up soon when I record. I got to record a video today. So when I record the video, I'm going to record using both the Rode and the Comica. And then that will be my video for the next one. So it's coming soon. Coming soon. I said there's an app that's like the ATEM. Why did I just go off stream? That's either Melon or StreamYards. But there is no other app like the ATEM as far as an app is concerned, unless you're using OBS. Oh, yeah, gotcha. So here's the top. See the little gap? It's lighter. I will say this. It's lighter. This one definitely has a lot more weight. Now I do have the magnet on here. Hold on. Actually, when I take the magnet up, the weight's pretty much the same. So, but it's thinner. It's thinner or narrower, but a little longer. I don't know if you can see that there we go. Yeah, thinner, but a little longer. It's not about the girth on the Comica. That won't end up in the video. Okay. Yes. You must be new here. I used to stream directly out of the ATEM every time. But I think you missed what I'm saying here. I don't just stream. And because I do the YouTube stuff and I need multiple angles for my cameras, that's why I use the ATEM. Because the ATEM is not going into the PC at all. The ATEM is the end point of everything else. So it's basically just I can't show you right now. I can't show you. But the EVGA XR1 has a HDMI output, which sends out an actual 1080p transmission. So I'm able to just run that. And same thing with the L1 Pro, which actually sends out a pure feed as opposed to the ATEM, which doesn't send out of their HDMI. It doesn't send out the best signal. So yeah, I use them both. But again, guys, sometimes when I say things, people go, why don't you just do this? Trust me when I tell you I've done it all. This is the best way for me in order to do everything I need to do, whether it be streaming, whether it be recording a YouTube video. All of these things have different aspects. And DJ Flipside with the raid, what's going on, man? Thanks for hanging out today. I am a very compartmentalized person, and I believe that there is a tool for the job. So I'm completely fine having two of the same products if I know one is going to be for one thing and one is going to be for another. So it's really important that for me, now everybody else, some people don't mind pulling out cords and swapping stuff out all the time. Hey, more power to you. That's not me. I need a tool for the job. And for me, the tool for the job is the ATEM for recording my YouTube videos. But for streaming, I use the Goat Nation box, funneling into the L1 Pro, but it's all the same though. It's just, think of it as a secondary room that I record my YouTube in. Calvin Cornell with the raid. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I got this shirt from Innofader. From all of the people that buy me, that buy my opinions. Silo Ren with the 200 bits. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, the joy of YouTube. Anytime you say something good about a product, people are like, how much did they pay you? Or when I did the Innofader review and I said, I like the Innofader over the Mag 4 fader. The Mag 4 fader is okay, but the Innofader is better. Oh, I don't have a problem with the Mag 4. The Mag 4 is perfect. You must be paid for. I'm like, have you used the Innofader in it? And you do more than just blend, because there is a difference. Calvin Cornell, I ended up getting the Bose L1 Pro 16 because of you. Hey, and by the way, I know that DJ Bar, I don't know why it keeps kicking me off. DJ Bar got the 16 from Bose. I never looked at his review though, so I never know. I never knew how he reviewed it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Bose. And again, I will just qualify this and say the Bose system is not for every situation. It's not, so I don't want people to think, oh, it's like look, I own a DJ company. I got a lot of equipment. And there is a place for everything. If there are 200 people in a room or even 150 and it's a big ass room, am I taking the Bose L1? No, I'm taking probably my SRXs, or whatever I'm using. It could be, I'm just saying, I'm not taking the Bose for something like that, but 100 people, 100 and you can maybe, depending on the size of the room, if it's 120 people, but the room is small, the Bose is great too. But it just depends on the room. We got rooms that are humongous out here. I'm not taking one Bose, but when they send me the next Bose, I will test it. And I'm also going to test the Evo. I'm going to contact my guy at Zounds and see if he can send me the Evo. He already asked for it. The military uses Bose headphones. Did not know that. That's dope. Yeah, I mean, look, Bose is known for their sound quality, and for sure, some of the best sound I've ever heard come out of especially coming out of a DJ system. Like I can tell you that mic work is amazing coming out of the Bose. It's super, super clear. Okay. Last couple of questions here. Thanks for the raid from Flipside. We're going to be on for a couple more minutes. And then we actually have things that we do. Hey, what is this on here? This looks like a USB-C adapter for the Comica. If that's the case, that changes a whole bunch of stuff. Because that means I can plug this directly into my Mac and still be able to use my receivers and transmitters. That's amazing. Tweak, that's amazing. I'm going to have to follow up on that one. Now, why isn't that in the box? That should have been in the box too. Okay, so what do you use to clean your DJ controllers? I find it a little difficult with the knobs, and I'm a little afraid to pull the knobs off. Is it safe pulling the knobs off your controller to clean? It's DJ Mayday. It's safe pulling off the knobs on my controllers. I can't speak for every single controller out there, but most of the time the knobs pop off. But I don't know what controller you're using. But yeah, it is typically. I say that with the caution, like a warning, like, you know, don't pull off and be like, I don't know what happened, but everything's broken. Like, that's not on me. But most of the time the knobs come off. The knobs come off. The crossfader knob should come off. Everything should come off, and you should be able to clean. Smoothly with the bits. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Select a 720 in the building. What's going on, man? Thanks for hanging out. We are just about to wrap it up, B. Been on here for a while. But yes, we're gonna do this review soon with the Comicas. Very, very soon. Very excited. I'm Vincent Nolan on the YouTube channel. Hey, thanks for coming over to Twitch and hanging out. For anybody that's on the YouTube side, if you're still on the YouTube side for right now, I do want to mention this. I know you guys follow me for Tech Thursdays on the YouTube side, but Wake Up in Cleveland is Monday and Wednesday, and there's also a Tuesday DJ session where I'm just DJing. No interviews, just DJing. That's all on Twitch. So if you are a fan of mine and you want to see more of me, you got to do that on Twitch. I only do Tech Thursdays on YouTube and on Twitch, and or if there is a humongous interview. That's really the only time. Besides that, everybody else, we do it on Twitch. Let's check out my. All right, I'm at 49.90 on IG. 10 more people. I need 10 more people to follow me on IG. 10 more. If you're not following me on IG, you're not my friend, I guess. Any suggestions for swapping faders on the SX3? Yeah, you want to contact. Oh God, what is his name? InnoFader makes a lot of drop-ins for the controllers, and I do believe they make one for the SX3. But you're gonna need to contact InnoFader and see which ones they have. But yeah, check out InnoFader. Go to their website because there's like 2 people that work there, and Patrick Donahue, and email him and ask him what he recommends for the SX3. He'll tell you exactly which one to get. Okay, so for all of you people, this is I saw Flipside with Qbert. We saw that. I'm jealous. But for anybody that is, I will be in Vegas Saturday through Saturday. I will be in Vegas for the entire week. So if you got stuff going on or whatever, let me know. Throw it. Send me a DM. Send me a whisper. But I will be in Vegas. I plan on meeting up with Warren Peace, DJ Scene, a couple of Snapback boys, and yeah, we're gonna have a little fun. Okay. Juxtaposition says, what's the minimum upload megabits per stream as a DJ? You want my honest opinion? It needs to be a consistent 7 megabits per second. And I don't mean, I have 10 and then it drops down to 5 and 4 and then back up to 9. I'm talking about what is your consistent speed. And for me, I think 7 is like the baseline. 7 or higher is where you want to be. Anything lower, and you just weird things start to happen, in my opinion. I will do that. I will do that. Okay, so thanks for following on IG. Yeah, I don't even know where Flipside and where 720 were. Where were you at? I just saw the pictures, but I was working last night. So, but where were you actually at? I assume it was in Chicago, or could have been New York. Who knows? All right. Bobby G says, last question before we move on. Do you have any advice for traveling on DJ a wedding? How much did you charge and pay for the airline tickets? Well, that's what you pay is irrelevant. Whatever that airline ticket is what the client pays. So if you're doing a traveling DJ, if your airline ticket costs $500 and that's the cheapest you can find, and I don't mean cheapest like, oh, this is the cheapest first class. I mean like, oh, I don't have to take 7 planes to get, to the next state over. This is the cheapest it is. And that's the price that you charge them. You don't charge them more. You don't charge them, a booking fee for your tickets. You just say, look, it cost me $400 for that. You need to reimburse me for the $400. That's what we do. Anytime we're out, like we've run the numbers for any travel gigs. So if it's an overnight stay, it's like, okay, well, this is the price you pay for travel. And it includes the hotels and the per diem. And don't forget about per diem. Okay. When you're traveling, anything that you spend outside of your home area should be reimbursed by the client. Nothing should be coming out of your pocket. Ha! DJ Smooth V, no prizes yet. I got to figure out. I'm going to start doing some prizes. Prizes seem to generate. So we'll see what we can do. Okay. Let's see what Flipside said about where he was. Yeah, I know. Selecta, I can't get files here. Or I would be on files right now. Queso, I will do that. The Marquee Show. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's the one thing. I don't charge more for any of that type of stuff. I charge more for other things, but travel, typically speaking, you're already charging more for travel anyway. So the reimbursement part shouldn't matter as much, plus it's stuff that they could actually track. You know what I mean? So, because like I can say, oh, you're this much as a DJ, and then I can raise my rate up and they won't know that. But if they're like, oh yeah, we want to reimburse you for the airline, send me your ticket stubs and you charge 500, or you paid 500 and it was 700 and you charge 700. Yeah, that's not going to be a good time for you. Best budget laptop to run DJ software. I don't know. Because I haven't dealt with a lot of budget stuff. Unfortunately, but I'm sure the guys in the chat, can help you. I mean, I just can't answer that question. The cheapest Mac that I know runs is a MacBook Air. Runs fine. I mean, any quad core computer should run fine. Quad core with like 8 gigs of RAM, you should be good, no matter what the computer is. Step down from your throne. That's funny. Here's the funny thing about this. I never ever claimed to be like, your the do it all YouTube guy. Because there are some YouTube guys out there that review like every product out there. Amazon people send me stuff or ask me to review stuff left and right. I just made a choice that I didn't want to be the kind of, cheap, crappy stuff YouTuber. It was a personal choice. And from what I've seen, and you guys need to know this, you guys are all spending top dollar on gear, So, and I have found that the biggest returns on my YouTube videos has been gear that costs more than what people always say they want to spend. You know, it's a funny thing to be in, but like the more expensive the gear, the more people want to know about it. The cheaper the gear, I get very little results on cheap gear. That's just facts. Just facts. Uh oh yeah, still yeah. I mean, I have a 2012 MacBook Pro right over there that still works great for DJing. Now the video card's shoddy, so it has a little bit of an issue, which is why I don't use it anymore. But it worked fine. Never had an issue with it. It's 2012. Probably cost you dirt cheap. Um, do do do. DJ Pablo said, "Hey CT, I didn't realize the issue with the 600 megahertz mic lapel equipment until recently. Any company still offering rebates to replace those that you know of, or do you stick with your Shure?" This is an excellent question, and might be the one I end on. Um, okay, so uh, T-Mobile bought up a huge amount of spectrum. Okay, digital spectrum, so the wireless spectrum, and in doing that, a lot of your wireless microphones, if they are in a certain spectrum, uh, technically, legally, you're not actually supposed to use. You're not supposed to use. You're not supposed to be in the same spectrum as these companies. So you're supposed to buy new mics. Now, I've gotten a couple of microphones. You guys know that, like I got the Phoenix ones, and they're not in that same spectrum, so they've been great. However, my Shure SLXs all operate, all of them. Um, Not my PG4s, but my SLXs all operate in that spectrum. So I get issues sometimes, especially if I'm outdoors. If I'm outdoors, the mic might cut off left and right. So I have to bring the Phoenix because of that. If I'm indoors, not so much of a problem, to be honest with you. It's just those outdoor events. So I would suggest probably just. I mean, I haven't seen any rebates. The rebates have died, in my opinion. Now they're just like buy new ones. I am not opposed to buying, like, I know Phoenix. I have the 4-channel microphone system, which is great for like karaoke. But they also have a 2-channel, which is the Phoenix PTU7, and it's a 2-channel version of it. So it's basically the same size as like your SLS box, but it gives you 2 microphones as opposed to 1. And one of them, I believe, can be a lapel microphone. So I'm probably going to end up buying one of those because I like the sound coming out of the microphone instead of buying, instead of spending all the money on all the mics aren't cheap. Um, I would not do that. It's funny. There's a fine line, and hardware people want to spend money on. Software people are always like, "Why does it cost so much?" Every time. DJ Mike B says, "When should you trademark your brand, your name, or get a LLC for your DJ business?" When you're making money, when you're running a business, you should. Now, I don't have an LLC for Cleveland Terry because I have an LLC for Check One Two Enterprises. So I run everything through Check One Two Enterprises. But you should, as a business, as a DJ that works, you should have an LLC. For the first off, just for the purpose of writing off things and for business expenses and all those things, you should definitely have an LLC. Because it'll protect you. It'll protect you. DBA is not the same as LLC. People think it is, but it's not. Um, the problem with having an LLC or any type of incorporation is that you have to pay a fee at the end of the year, and that fee, I believe, for an LLC is $800. But I mean, do the math. You know, what's $800 divided by 12? 60 something change a month. It's worth it. You're going to make that money back in write-offs. Okay. New to Serato video visuals. A beginner in this space. What are your tips? It's a long story and something that I can't actually answer now because I've been on for 3 hours. But either save that tip for next Thursday when we do Tech Thursday, and or go watch my go click on Cleveland Terry and then go to the playlist streaming 101 or something like that, and then I have a whole bunch of videos on that on stuff like that. Louis and Randy asked right before the power went out, how do I transfer my Serato music to my new computer with cue points? Cue points are based on the metadata of the file. So your cue points are always there. So theoretically, technically, you can just copy your music folder to your new computer and paste that into the new area. So wherever your folder is right now, take that, and if assuming that your computers are named the same, meaning your file structure, you could technically just copy and paste it into the new one, and everything should work just fine. If it doesn't work just fine, you might have to just run a Serato find and replace, and then all your files are there. But as far as your cue points are concerned, they're stored in the metadata, so you shouldn't have any issue. Yes, that is true. You should definitely renew on time. The yearly fee in LLC is based on state. It's $99 in Ohio. Damn, you're a son of a bitch. I hate California. I really hate California sometimes. I might put my LLC in Vegas. My mom lives in Vegas. That might be where I go. Because that's frustrating as all hell. Best DJ pool to get old school and new school music. There's so many out there. The problem is legality. Technically speaking, from a legal standpoint, no pool should be able to have old school music unless it's been modified. Bootlegs, all that kind of stuff. If it's just a one-to-one, it's technically illegal for a record pool to have. Streaming is different, but a record pool is not supposed to have that. But Beat Junkies is probably your best source for old school. BPM Supreme had old school, but they've slowly taken away everything. I have a record label LLC. Can I run my DJ business through it? 100%. You can run anything you want through your LLC. Any LLC. It doesn't matter what it is. Like my LLC is for my DJ company, but it's not for Cleveland Terry. But I can run it through there. They're just for write-offs. Okay. Last, should you buy your own speakers or rent them when traveling? Depends on where you're traveling to. If you're traveling and you have enough room in your truck or your vehicle, then definitely bring your speakers. But if you are going out of state and you're flying, well, then obviously you have to rent. But it just depends. Like when I did my Arizona trip, if I didn't have another gig the following day, I would have just flown in and then rented it from a local DJ company out there and been just fine. Steven, you're very welcome, man. Thanks for hanging out today. Uh, Everything in California is expensive, man. You must be charging big time to clients. It's funny though. We charge the average competitive rate out here, which isn't cheap, but we're still cheaper than New York. New York's probably the most expensive for DJs. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm getting tired of it. So yeah, so if I do an LLC for my own personal stuff, like my YouTube stuff and all that stuff, I don't know that I'll put it in California. I might just put it in Nevada. $99. That's annoying. That is really annoying. Okay. But again, here's the thing, and I'll leave you with this. Nothing is ever expensive if you're making money. Okay. So if like for instance, for me, when I have my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel and any work that I do for companies out there that pay me, I'm making enough to pay for my LLC. And my LLC is going to cut down on all of those all of those all of that overhead. So I'm gonna make that money back. In fact, I believe that license is a damn write-off. So I'm gonna make the money back. It just feels expensive when you first look at it. But in reality, if you're making money doing what you love and doing what you do, it's a part of the business. Oh, damn, you do what you want to, man. All right. Let's take a look here since we are on way longer than I anticipated. But let's take a look at IG real quick. Let's see. This is like the Jerry Lewis telethon. All right. I'm at 4,999. I need one follower to hit 5,000. One follower. One follower. One follower. If you guys can put my socials back in there one more time. So I need one follower to make me hit that 5K. Help a brother out. Help a brother out. While we are, obviously I got to go make some phone calls. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see who is on. You know what? We just talked about DJ Scene. Let's raid Scene. Not that he needs my help. The man has a ridiculous amount of followers. Oh, you're seeing 5,003 now? I did refresh. At that moment, it said 4,999. Now I'm 5,003. Thank you, folks. Do I follow back? Actually, I do follow back, but I never follow back if somebody's just following. I don't do that one-to-one thing. I do it when people are actually like commenting on my stuff. And then when I see people are active on there, then I'm like, oh, you know what? It triggers me to go take a look at them. So I do follow back. I just followed DJ Dam, as a matter of fact. Because sometimes I just forget. If we're developing a relationship and it's dope, then I always try to follow people because it's good stuff, man. Good times. Anyway, guys, so we are going to be raiding out to DJ Scene. Enjoy DJ Scene. He's dope. Again, as I was saying before, I will be in Vegas on Saturday and Saturday through Saturday. So I'll be there for a whole week. I'll be doing the Wake Up in Cleveland from Vegas, either from my hotel room or from whoever lucky guest will be on live, which will be a dope thing. I will be DJing on Tuesday. And thank you guys for helping me hit 5,000. I appreciate all of you. And we'll see you soon. I got another video coming out today. Peace out, y'all. See you soon.